All right, welcome back. It's early August 1861, and just as a quick game update, we've decided to turn off the traffic penalty. That's a new feature that's in beta that penalizes cohesion for forces that are crowding roads. I think the idea is good, but as you can see here, it looks like it's currently penalizing cohesion too much, and so was it medium? So rather than turn it to low, we've decided to just turn it off um, for the time being. And what I've been told is that it's a dynamic rule, so you can just change it throughout the game, basically. Anyways, back to the game. In Virginia, what I'm doing is Jackson's brigade and General Jackson's going to Harper's Ferry. Johnson's force is going to Winchester. Um, they are both on green green, which means they're going to be recovering and they'll be taking over the forces there as well. In addition, we're going to be sending out the 1st Virginia Cavalry and the Winchester Militia, in addition to the 1st Reserve Brigade and Bonham's Brigade, to basically continue to take military control of the western part of Virginia. Um, the 1st Virginia Cavalry is actually going out to, looks like it's Brook, West Virginia. Wise Supply is going to go south. Wise Legion's actually going over one. And the rest of the West Virginia force will basically be in an offensive posture. Just trying to basically increase the control of the railroad in the western part of Virginia. The rest of the forces are pretty much remaining static, other than 1st Volunteer Brigade going to arrive in Manassas. Um, and Malone's Brigade will be arrive in Norfolk, which will give it a little bit more of a few more forces there. In Kentucky, the big question is whether um, the Tennessee force can actually escape now that it's arrived in Louisville with almost no cohesion. It was probably a bit foolish and a bit unrealistic to expect to take it, but well, it was worth a try. Um, in the meantime, I'm going to send Regiment Nelson and have this militia on offensive power to up our military control, in addition to what the 1st Tennessee Cavalry is doing here. Finally, in Kansas, Shelby's forces will be on defensive posture to basically recover cohesion while they're gathering the other forces here. Um, and as you can see, they're kind of moving forward through the western part of Kansas. We'll see what the Union is going to do here. They have Sumner, Lyon, um, and a militia unit here, basically kind of getting control of this area. So, as far as what's happening, as far as production goes, you can see we're still, of course, accumulating some forces here. We're going to issue war bonds to get 600,000 points. And, well, we'll go ahead and uh, increase the river pool. All right, let's run the turn and see what happens. All right, it was actually a very exciting turn. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is kind of what's going on in Virginia. Jackson did arrive, and as you can see by the huge hits that they've taken, there has been a battle here. Let me see if I can move these forces over. Here is basically Hamilton's force marched on, and there was a very large battle. There's the one in Dallas. Here it is. So it's battle on Harper's Ferry. We won. We did win with 2 national morale. So this is the biggest battle of the game so far. Um, so Jackson arrived really pretty much just in time, just a few days before the battle started. So significant deficit, both really in men and in artillery. So as you can see now, we're in a pretty weak state. The good news is that the Johnston's army is here and is in good condition, so we could actually use the railroad and try to attack Hamilton if we wanted. No movement from McDowell. In Western Virginia, we're getting close to taking over more of the area. One of the challenges that we do have is that actually Smith was not able to bring keys to battle, and perhaps even worse is actually he's getting low on supply. They have looks like enough, maybe for about two more turns before we run out of supply. So these guys did get some supply here. I guess they were able to draw some perhaps from here, so they are up to 33. So I could send it back if I want. So I'll have to consider that. Didn't really see any other action out here. It's pretty much all quiet in the eastern part of Virginia. Quite a bit of action in Kentucky, and I'm kind of lucky that it wasn't actually worse, although it may still be. So the Tennessee force has still not yet escaped. As you can see, that the Union force is severely weakened. We lost the second battle. This is actually the second battle here. We did lose one national morale. The first battle was basically a draw, although the Union took more casualties. You can see that we have actually more artillery, so that might at least have something to do with kind of balancing it out. So at least the one thing we have going for us is that the Union forces are severely weakened. I'm still a little confused on how forces are getting weakened so quickly now. They tell me that part of the game hasn't changed, but it certainly seems to be a bit more drastic than it used to be. Meanwhile, the Confederates continue to increase control over the rest of Kentucky down at Bowling Green. Here is Shelby. We only have enough supply for one more turn, so I think we're actually going to need to assault this turn. So hopefully they'll be good enough to go with the two batteries that they have. So the militia units, a couple of militia units are on the way, and there's a third one down here that's in control of Centerville, it looks like. Meanwhile, Lyon is marching on the Springfield force. You can see that they've arrived here. Whether or not they'll attack next turn, of course, remains to be seen. Those seem to be the main highlights of the moves. Let's kind of quickly go through the messages and see if there's anything else interesting going on. We did take Dallas, yeah. And so you can see Dallas is now in control of the Confederates again. So the Union forces, they kind of just sort of spread all over. Here's one. There's another one up there as well. Yep, there's the first battle in Louisville. You can see that here, all these messages: we failed to retreat, and then we lost. We did win in Harper's Ferry, as we saw. Okay, so the CSS Alabama and the CSS Florida have started construction in Great Britain. Interesting. So here we go. Basically, foreigners that didn't recognize the Confederacy, President Davis banished them. And the Union has issued war bonds. So we have more forces in Louisville, mainly because of the Louisiana Defense Force has been has been activated because of the couple of cavalry units from the Union. All right, so I think it's a decent turn. I like what's happening in western part of Virginia. It puts the Union in a kind of more of an unusual situation. I think we're relatively firmly in control of what's going on in Harper's Ferry. I think we should definitely consider a counterattack. Kentucky definitely has not gone as planned. Oh, by the way, you can see that the Union has now taken Scott, Missouri. But if the Tennessee force can't actually escape next turn in 7 days, and hopefully kind of get back to Bowling Green to regroup, wouldn't be all lost. It kind of would have, I guess, sort of distracted the Union for something. Okay, all right. See you next time.